Okay, back to the original story, part 4 of Noel. Brace yourself for the impact of this of this of this story, because this part I wrote a past episode between Julius Senior and the son that he denied all those years. Okay, let's get started. James, buddy, you got the wrong man. I'm not your dad, said then 49-year-old Julius Sr. Liar, anything that comes out of your mouth is a lie, said then 18-year-old James. Why not try the truth for a change? I am telling you the truth. Go find your real father and leave me alone, kid, Julius Sr. said. The Glock went off. A bullet whizzed past his head and hit a small yellow sign. I know all about you, the women you dated. My little sister doesn't want nothing to do with you. Leah Jeffers, she's so lucky that I will spare her. I heard you're a dad again. Two little boys to start off, Julius Williams Jr. and Lucas Williams, plus I got a brand new stepmom. She's very cute. You know what? I might take all three of them for myself or kill them. Your choice, cuz either way, you're gonna lose everything. Like father, like son, James said in an eerie voice. You are not my son. Leah is not my daughter. But she's not pursuing this like you're doing. So get out of here before I call 911, Julius Sr. said angrily. Three more gunshots rang out, and Julius Sr. was automatically hit. Don't die too quickly. I'll be back to see your last breath, plus I'm going to find the future Mrs. James Andrews, James said. Stay away from my wife and kids, you little punk, Julius Sr. said, gurgling from his lips. That's where you wrong, punk. It's my wife and kids now, James growled. He took the butt of his Glock and knocked Julius Sr. out. Present day. Noel was in her bed fast asleep. Everyone was sleeping, including the poodle that her parents gave her as a housewarming gift. The boys sleep in separate rooms. Julius Jr. had all his clothes tossed around on the floor. He took off his school uniform and got into bed with on his underwear, t-shirt, and socks. He tried sleeping naked, but Noel got more than she bargained for from the anatomy of a 6.5-year-old boy. Instead of scolding him, Noel explained to her oldest son why he couldn't do that by putting it in words that he understand. Meanwhile, Luke was sleeping in his bed, which is part of a bunk bed set. Noel and Chucky took down the bunk bed despite Julius Sr.'s warning. Noel was trying to increase the peace with her young sons, who fought like cats and dogs practically every night. It's obviously working because JJ and Luke hasn't fought as much as they used to. As Noel slept, she was dreaming about that fateful night when she met James Andrews. She didn't know who he was. He was passing off as a wounded man just to get through the door. She went to the back to get something from her room. He peeked through the kid's room, took some quick drying glue out, and applied it to both doors. He snuck in on Noel and pulled out his ski mask. He grabbed Noel from behind and threw her onto the bed. She remembered a disguised James sticking his tongue down her throat and grunting loudly. She tried to fight him off, but he strapped her arms down. He pinned Noel's legs under his legs. You know you want this. Give Julius Sr. my love. He told me you were loose. He said I can have my way with you. Too bad he's missing out on this. I know you guys ain't married. Not anymore. You ain't. Which mean you're easy picking for me. She remembers the words from James. Then she woke up in a cold sweat. Chucky was fast asleep on the couch when the poodle started barking. Susie, what is it, girl? He yawned. He felt a tugging on his shorts. All right, I'm coming. I am coming. I'm a wounded man with a broken pinky toe and a hairline fracture on my ankle, he said, then got off the couch with crutches in hand. He saw light in the kitchen. Something was standing in front of the kitchen sink. He went to the dark figure, tapping it on the shoulder. Get off me, a voice yelled. Noel, chill, it's me, Chucky, he said. Sorry, Chuck. I think I'm losing it. Hey, Susie. Oh, did I scare you? Noel said. Still have nightmares about James, kid? He asked. Yep, he says he's Julius Sr.'s son. Turned out he was, and Julius Sr. nearly died, which didn't change his mood because after he got shot for lying to that demented young man. Thank God James is serving a life sentence upstate. He threatened my life as well as the life of my children. Julius Sr. and his girlfriend created that monster, Chuck. He scares me. That kid haunts my dreams. I can't get him out of my head, she cried. Chucky gave her a great big hug. It reminds them of the time when they were 6. Then out of the blue, Noel kissed him on the lips. Quick question. Are you sure you ready for this, babe? Chucky whispered. No more questions, Mr. Woodward. I thought you wanted this unless you changed your mind, Noel whispered back. Nah, I didn't change my mind. But why so formal? When did you start calling me Mr. Woodward, Mrs. Wilson? He said. Noel chuckled softly. Hey, Noel, I think the gum is taking effect, he said. Noel punched him in the arm and said, It's all your fault, yours and Black's, for that nasty tasting weed gum. I think you need to cut ties with that guy right now. Okay, babe, slow down, take a deep breath. Tell me what's really going on, he said, sounding concerned. I don't like Black. Scratch that. I don't even know him. Whatever happened to you in New Orleans is not good at all. The main part is I am scared for you, Chuck. Scared of losing you. Ever since you came out of prison 2 years ago, I gave you a position as co-owner of my comic book business because I need someone that I can trust with a business degree, and we were friends for over 30 years now, she said. Your sweet notes and homemade cookies kept me going for the duration of my stay. Plus, I took a business course, which was 6 weeks. I finished it in 2-3 weeks. I got the degree the same day I got out release. You and the Wilson family, even Julius Sr. was there, he said. He was the one who pulled the strings to get the charges dropped, Chuck, she said. And I know who's behind it all, he said, pointing at Noel. Oh, you met me, she said. She was shocked by her friend for figuring out the simple things by himself. Then Noel grabbed him by the hand and slowly led him into her bedroom. In the middle of the night, Luke got up from his bed and went to the bathroom. Once he used the toilet, he grabbed a cup from the sink and got his footstool. He turned the faucet and let the water run before putting the cup under it. Suddenly he heard something in the next room. He quickly drank the cup of water and investigated the noise. Noel was in her bed, snuggled next to Chucky. Luke saw the two of them and smiled. He slowly left the room and closed the door. The next morning, JJ and Luke were making a cold breakfast for themselves. Noel woke up to see Chucky staring at her. Hi, she whispered. Hi, have I ever told you how beautiful you look in the sunlight? He whispered back. Oh, that's so sweet, she said softly. What we talk about before, you know, he said. Before what? We'd had sex. It's not the end of the world, Chuck, she said. Oh, that's good, he said. You see, I was looking for someone who would listen to me. That person is you and not you, Senior, she said. I thought conversation was the key to a good marriage, he said. Apparently it skipped a generation in the Williams family. Julius Senior is not good at making conversation. More like barking orders at me. Treat me like a kid. She said, you know what? He doesn't know how to talk to you because of the 10-year difference. He said, if you're trying to defend my ex-husband, don't, because he doesn't deserve it. Only because I've stopped defending him to everyone a long time ago. It's almost 9, so I gotta check on the boys. They're probably not up yet and haven't had their breakfast yet, she said. Then she got up and fell back down again. Whoa there, take it easy, babe, said Chucky. Don't worry so much, Chuck. I'm okay, just a little tipsy, Noel said. Maybe you're exhausted, Tarzan, he said. Tarzan, stop watching the old movies, old man, she said. What, old man? Who are you calling old man? Who are you calling old, woman? He said back. She lay back and burst out laughing. The kids heard a commotion and came into the bedroom. What is going on in here? JJ said. I know, bump and grind, Luke said. Uncle Chuck, did you use protection? Perhaps a condom by any chance? Are you clean, sir? JJ asked. Don't answer that. Where is this coming from, and where are those health books that I was looking for? She questioned her sons. I don't know, JJ said. Luke shrugged his shoulders. One word for the two of you. Leave, she said, pointing at her young sons. What about him? JJ spoke up. For what I've learned in my entire life, never question Mom, said Luke. He grabbed his big brother by the arm, left the room, and closed the door. Oh my God, Lucas has become you. Completely. Chuck, what are you laughing at? Chuck, Noel said, hitting him on the arm. He's a little mean. Should we check to make sure? Chucky asked her. Why? You don't believe me? She said, It's not the point. I'm doing it for me. He said. Glad you said that, 'cause I already made the appointment for this afternoon at 2. Oh, Lord. Luke said before Noel had a chance to respond. Ever heard the concept of knocking on the door, little buddy? He said, shocked by the words from his newfound son's mouth. Huh? Luke said, acting as if he was confused. You should have knocked before you entered, young man, who rudely interrupted our conversation just now. Not one word out of you, kid. And as for you, find out about Luke the way you did was very traumatic. So you were. Alright. To be sure, if he's actually your son. I know that now. Back to you, Luke. What appointment? She said. Well, I want to know if Uncle Chucky is really my dad or not, he said. Oh, that's so sweet. But you're grounded for 1 week for getting to grown folks' business, she said. Why, Mom? You said to always speak up, Luke's questioned. I know, but it's when to speak up is what you're lacking. You were supposed to observe and listen. Do you understand? She said to her young son. Yes, Mama, Luke said. When I'm talking to Chucky, I'm only talking to him, not you. So don't respond, okay? She said. Loud and clear, Mama. Loud and clear, Luke said. Can I get a hug? Yes, she said, then giggled. Then Noel gave Luke a great big hug. Later that day, Noel and Chucky took the kids out for ice cream. They each had a banana sundae to eat. Remember, Lucas, you're still on punishment, Noel said sternly. Okay, Mama, Luke said. Sorry for butting in. It's not my intention, honest. I know, buddy. Observe and listen. Remember that. Or I'll tell you to butt out. The same line I told your brother, she said. Yes, ma'am, said Luke. Then he took his all chocolate ice cream sundae to the kitchen table. He sat opposite of his brother, who was also at the same exact table. So how am I doing so far, partner? Chucky asked. Pretty good. Nervous about the test results, partner? She whispered. I didn't cheat on that test. I studied for it. I studied hard for it, he said. Oh, you mean the paternity test results? I must have had a mental flashback. Oh, poor baby. Tell me about this mental flashback, She said, sounding interested in what he had to say. Don't play me, Noel, he said. The key to a good relationship is communication. You listen to my problems, now's my turn to listen to yours. Come on, take a shot, she said softly. He took a deep breath and started talking. The conversation went on for hours and hours. Suddenly, everyone was fast asleep. The boys were in bed fully clothed. Chucky woke up to his iPhone buzzing on his hip. Rubbing his eyes, he got off the couch and laid Noel's head flat on the cushion. He went outside to answer the call. While he was on the phone, a hand touched his shoulder. I need it here, so goodbye, old friend. Yeah, I passed the message along. Okay, he said, then ended the call. Hey, you. Where did you go? He heard the voice behind him. Hey, Noel, I thought you were asleep, he said to her. He just said to his friend. Come to bed with me, please. I can't sleep without you by my side. So what was that about, Noel asked him. It's my boy Smokey Black. He left town a couple hours ago, saying that I can move on without him. Somehow he doesn't want to stand in the way of love and want me to be with you, babe, he said. Oh my God, I might have misjudged him. I don't want you to lose your friend because of me, she said. Don't worry about it. Black is one of the good guys. He was rooting for us to be together, he said. Noel saw something leaning against the wall and went to pick it up. It's the paternity test results. How long was this out here? She said. What are you waiting for? Open it up, he said. When they finally read the results, they were both overjoyed. Luke and JJ woke up to the commotion outside. The boys were standing at the door, slightly confused by what was going on. Hi, Luke, JJ. What are you doing up? She said to the boys. I can answer that now. I thought I was observing and listening like you said, Luke said. Now you're listening. Come here, little boy, she said, grabbing her youngest son's hand and whispered something in his ear. Luke's eyes lit up by the news he heard. He ran to Chucky and hung him tight. All Chucky heard from Luke's lips was the word Dad, softly in his ear. Chuck returned the hug to his soon-to-be 5-year-old son. JJ walked up to the father-son duo and said, Do you make my mom happy? Jules Jr. Noel spoke up. Now, baby, let me answer this young man's question. Of course I can make your mom happy, buddy, Chucky said. Cool. Can I ask you one more question? He asked. What is it? Said Chucky. Can I call you Dad, too? He said. Are you sure? She asked. JJ shook his head and hugged Chucky as well. Then Noel joined the hug. The end. That's the final part to Noel's book. Hope you enjoy. Listen carefully and click the like button. Thank you.